Notice what you need for yourself this morning to be comfortable. And, willingness to sit up on something can really ease the hips. And of course, you can always extend the legs out in front of you if you have something with your knees. I'd like to start this morning with, as we discussed in the beginning, kind of some neck stuff and maybe a little facial massage. So it's always nice to start seated, and then I'll bring us to our backs to come into our warm-ups. But we'll begin here. Let's place our palms down on our thighs. Begin to lengthen through the spine and softly engaging the lower abdominal muscles. And just kind of notice as you do that, does it kind of encourage you to sit up taller? I truly find that as soon as I'm aware of where my core is and I'm gently holding that in, it just makes me want to sit up a little taller or lengthen through my spine. Shoulders stay relaxed away from the ears. And we want to draw the upper arm bones next to the side body or hanging off the shoulder. So they're not way out in front of you. This can start to create some stress. You're starting to reach forward with the hands, which can also start to have the upper back shoulders kind of round forward. So if we draw them back, that can help with that as well. Once you've found your posture, softly close your eyes. Just relaxing through the facial muscles, but engaging the core. We're rooting down through the earth, and we're reaching up towards the sky. We have a very active posture, so externally we have found a sense of effort to be in our seat. And then can we soften from the inside? Without losing the integrity of the pose. Check in first with your physical body. We'll scan from head to toe. Just notice what's coming up for you today. What does the body have to say? Are there areas that need a little extra care and attention this morning? And a willingness to be aware of those places as you move through the practice and the choices you make. Just acknowledging those areas. We want to notice our breath and energy body. Noticing the quality of your breath. Can you breathe evenly through both nostrils, or is one a little congested? Notice your mental and emotional body. Where are your thoughts taking you? Or are there emotions right there at the surface today? Again, an opportunity to simply acknowledge, be open and curious. Our wisdom body. Just noticing if you feel connected to your wisdom body, your inner knowing, intuition, inner guidance system or teacher. And you might have noticed you've had a lot of doubts recently, you're questioning things, and that is an indication that you're not as connected maybe as you would like to be or would choose to be. And this slowing down and going inward allows us to hear that small, still voice. It always has our best interest in mind. And so may this practice help to deepen that connection, that trust. And the more deeply we can learn to trust that inner wisdom, we come home to our place of bliss and peace, or remember that that is our essence. And even if life throws us a curveball here and there, we can come back and find our center. We don't get lost in the storm. Find your way back into the breath, beginning to lengthen it. We're going to find a nice smooth inhale. Pause at the top for a moment, and then slowly let the breath out. Find an evenness between the inhale and the exhale, with a slight hold at the top of the breath. And since we already discussed prior to beginning the practice about facial muscles, jaw, neck, notice as we're sitting here if you aren't already creating any tension, and just invite that place to relax. Sometimes it's a matter of being aware of where we carry our tension, noticing when that's occurring so that we can make the choice to relax or to release that tension. And for a while it takes a very conscious thought to change that, because it's an unconscious habit. Taking in and letting go, facial muscles relaxed, spine tall, engagement of the core, and yet a relaxation from within, a softening. Let's bring our palms together to our hearts. Connect into your heart's intention for being here this morning for yourself, a time of self-care, compassion, patience, loving kindness. In each practice we can dedicate this to someone, we can honor where we're at and have an intention for ourselves in this practice. And it's something that nurtures the moment. It's not a goal, we're not trying to achieve anything here. And once you've found that and connected to it, bring the backs of the hands to your thighs, palms up. As I invite you to be curious, open-hearted, open-minded throughout this practice today, and to take that curiosity into the rest of your day. Letting go of the inner critic, the judge, and simply be curious about what shows up for you. So let's begin with a little tapping, and then we'll move into some massage. So we'll bring our tips of our fingers up to the third eye and just very gently begin to tap the third eye. So this is just some gentle energy work. It works, kind of opens the energy channels, gets blood flowing, chi, right? So we take that gentle tapping and move to the forehead, and the temples. Keep breathing smoothly and deeply. Take it down to just beneath the eyes, eye sockets or the bones. and down the side of the face, down the cheek or the jaw. You can even open the mouth into the chin. And the base of the nose. Back up by the eyes and the temples and the crown of the head. And then take your fingers together at the center of your forehead and just rub across. Right? Just like we're trying to reduce the wrinkles or creases in our forehead and third eye. So just gentle massaging across the forehead. And then we'll take this down in the temples and just massaging in a circle. And down to the cheekbones. And just massaging a circular motion all the way down to the jaw. And again, what does it feel like if you just open the jaw, relax it? And the chin, up by the cheeks. We're all going to be making some funny faces. And then just come back up to the forehead. And release and relax the arms. Just notice any sensations or what you're feeling. Smooth, even breathing. So rotate the head right and left. Let's just notice the range of motion we have in our neck today. So we're just checking in right to left. And then we'll go ahead and release one ear to one shoulder. Check out the opposite side of the neck and the stretch you're feeling. Come back up and switch. Notice how it feels on one side versus the other. Again, curiosity, not judgment, just noticing. And then bring the head back upright. And let's take the heel of the hand to the right side of our head. We're going to press the ear to the shoulder, press the head into the hand while the hand resists, and then the hand presses into the head while the head resists, coming back upright. 4 rounds. So you're going to feel a strength through the right side of the arm and the right side of my head, so whatever side you're on, but feeling that activate and strengthen the right side of the neck there. So it's an effort, but don't overdo it, please. And then switch sides. Notice your posture, notice your jaw, right? And then press the head into the, or ear into the shoulder, resisting both directions, 4 rounds. Continue to slightly engage the core. Breath is active, mindful. And then once you finish 4 rounds on that side, we'll come to the corner of the forehead, the right-hand side. We're going to rotate. So the neck's going to stay nice and long. You're going to rotate or press the head into the right hand as it resists, taking the gaze out over that right shoulder, and then resist coming back to center. 4 rounds. And then we'll go ahead and switch sides. The left corner of the forehead, nice and tall. Core engaged, breath flowing, 4 rounds. Keep the jaw relaxed. And after 4 rounds there, relax the hands. And then again, just kind of test the waters. And how's it feeling, right to left? Notice if anything's shifted. Maybe the range of motion has increased just a little bit, or there's less tension. Drop one ear to the shoulder and the other. Good. And then find your way back to center. A few breaths here, checking in. Let's do a seated cat-cow, and then we'll work into our first little bit of a twist this morning. So exhaling, round the spine, tuck the tailbone, go ahead and let the shoulders round, release the head. On your inhale, we lengthen up, the heart opens, shoulders drop back as you shift the gaze up to the ceiling if that feels safe on your neck. Exhaling, round. Inhaling, lift and lengthen. And so we have a sense of going inward, rounding the low back, or really the whole back body, and then we have a sense of expansiveness or opening outward. So with every pose in yoga, we have a physical aspect to the pose, and then there's an energetic happening as well. And so you can start to tune into that. When the practice becomes so familiar, the poses aren't as new, and we can move through them safely. We start to connect into the deeper part of this practice and what it's doing for our lives as a whole, off of our mats. Well, we're going to take this into a twist. So on your exhale, as you round the spine, take one shoulder towards the opposite knee. And inhale and lengthen. And switch. Exhale to the other side. Very mindful, slow movements. Little bit of a twist, mostly through the upper back. When you've gone equally side to side, pause and center. And then I'd like to go ahead and roll onto our backs. So we start a little more slowly warming up there. So we won't have your props nearby, but I'm not sure we're going to use any right now. And I prefer the blanket is not under your head for now. So we'll go ahead and roll back, lengthen the spine out along the floor. As you come into your center here, we're going to go ahead, feet are parallel, hip width apart. You can have your arms by your side, palms down for a moment, let the shoulders relax back. And then again, notice if you're starting to carry tension in the jaw just as we change positions. Let that relax, find your breath, a nice even flow of breath again. So each time we find a new position, we come into center, find the breath, just being mindful throughout the practice. And from here, go ahead and let's find our way into our hip hikers. So we're going to just do a little work in the sacrum to help loosen that up a bit before we move into twists. So as we take the hips, we're just sliding it up the mat towards one shoulder and then the other. Right? Tailbone, sacrum, low back, they're on the floor, nothing's lifted. Movements are meant to be rather small too, so always remember that these movements are small. Bigger's not better here. Notice how that low back is feeling and allow it to guide you in how deeply you take your twist this morning. Okay, so if you're feeling anything, things are a little tender down there, then you're going to want to minimize your twists. And I'll show lots of ways to modify. Bring that into center and then press into the right foot, point the right hip up bone up to the ceiling and back down. And then the left hip bone. Opposite buttocks stays on the floor. Just press one hip up and then the other. Slow, mindful movements. Taking care of our low back, listening and breathing. And then we'll go ahead and alternate between these two. Do a few hip hikers. and a few hip pointers. And then once we've gone back and forth a couple times there, we'll come into knees to chest. So just placing the hands on your knees, pull them into the chest. We let the breath out as we hug in, and inhale, arm lengths away. Exhale towards you, and inhale, arm lengths away. So nice rounding of the low back, gentle stretch. Continue to listen, see what's going on down there. And then from here, we'll go ahead and take this into knee circles. Nice little massage all across the top of the pelvis and down across the tailbone. Back and forth, or actually the sacrum. And then reverse and circle the other way. And then maybe take the knees and circle them out wide and back around. Notice your breath, open and curious. And then let's release the feet back into the floor. Take them out as wide as your mat. Open the arms out wide. And then from here, we'll go ahead and release the knees to one side. Inhale, open wide, and exhale to the other side. So our double knee drop, very gentle, mild twist. Opening as wide as the inner thighs will allow. And we exhale, we release the knees to one side into a twist, feeling the hip, low back, the outer thigh or the IT band. And then if you'd like to, you can get the head involved and just simply rotate the head the opposite direction the knees go. And now moving that twist all the way up into the cervical spine. Take your time, continue to listen, be curious. And then let's go ahead and come back up to center. All right, and we're going to extend the left leg out along the floor, hug the right knee in. And then from here, go ahead and flex the feet. Right? And we're going to just move side to side. And I'm going to invite you to take the first several rounds, really minimize this, and just check in and notice your range of motion and how things feel. So we extend the left arm out to the side as you open that knee to the right. So I've got my hand in we've drawn the right knee into the chest. So that's the knee we're working with. It's going to open wide. And then we inhale back to center, take it in your left hand, extend the right arm, and exhale across the body, just a little ways. How do things feel? And then come back to center, right hand, left arm extends, open wide. All right, so just first few movements, just kind of notice how things feel. And then again, a few more rounds. If you'd like to involve your head, you can rotate the head the opposite direction you're taking the knee. Inhale to center. Alternately exhale, wide and into the twist. And the next time you find your way out of the twist, come back to center. Hug that knee in, take a breath here. And then we'll go ahead and we'll switch sides. Extend the right leg along the floor, hug the left knee in, flex the feet, take a breath. When you're ready, open wide to the left on the exhale as you extend the right arm. Inhale back to center. Minimal twist, exhale across the body. Not taking this really far. Inhale back to center. Exhale wide. Check in and notice how this side feels. When you've gone back and forth several times and you'd like to, then start rotation of the head, opposite direction of the knees. And the next time you come out of a twist, bring that knee back to center, take a breath. And then we're going to go ahead and roll to our hands and knees and begin to create a little bit more warmth in the body through some salutations before we go into some deeper twists. You might want to have your blocks up at the front of your mat. So they're accessible. Placing the palms into the floor, at least shoulder width apart, knees underneath you, navel to spine, exhaling round, and just noticing the difference between a seated cat-cow and from tabletop or hands and knees. You might feel like you have a little bit more range of motion, or it's just a different experience. Inhale, we soften the heart towards the earth as we lift the tail and the head. Exhale, we round the spine and bring the back of the heart up to the sky. And then we'll take this from our cat-cow into our Chakravarkasana. Exhale, draw back, sits bones to the heels. And inhale, come back up to hands and knees. Core is engaged. Connect with your breath. Exhale back and inhale up. And then on your next exhale, we'll go ahead and find our first down dog this morning. Adho Mukha Svanasana, curling the toes under and taking the tailbone high into the sky, knees bent to begin with, and just pedaling the feet Or the heels in and out of the floor. Coming up onto the balls of the feet, moving through the spine and the hips, the shoulders, the head. And then when you're ready to release, inhale back to the knees. And exhale into a child's pose. Pause, take a breath, just feel this for a moment. Notice any sensations. And then we're going to go ahead and come into our mini flow. Just nice, continuous movement with our breath. Inhaling to hands and knees. Curl the toes under and exhale down dog. Inhale back to the knees and exhale into a child's pose. Inhale back to knees and exhale down dog. Inhale back to knees and exhale child. So just a few rounds on your own. Take your time at your own pace if you're not already. The next time you find your way into a child's pose, pause just for a couple breaths. A place to go in, to rest, check in. And then we'll go ahead and come on up to hands and knees. Let's bring our right foot forward. So a low lunge. We'll use the blocks if you want to. You certainly don't have to. You can have your hands in your mat. We'll start with our lunge rock. Inhale forward, the heart lifts, spine lengthens, core engaged. Exhale, draw back, folding over that front leg that the right toes can come up off the floor if you'd like to. Please check your alignment with the front knee so that as you come forward, it's not shooting way out in front of the toes. You'll want to take a wider stance. So warming up through the hip flexor and the hamstring. And then the next time you come forward, let's, with the front knee bent, we're going to go ahead from here and come on up, bring your hands to your right thigh. I'm going to turn just so I'm twisting towards you. Okay. So from here, we're going to take our left hand to the outer right knee. Okay. Right hand to your sacrum. Spine is tall, core engaged. Go ahead and on your exhale, just rotate a bit to the right. Just check things out, see how that feels, and then unwind. Move in and out 3 times. Exhale, we move into the twist. Inhale, we come back to center. On that third round, as you come into the twist, pause and notice the shoulders. Shoulders are away from the ears and back. I know I have a tendency to round and my shoulders come forward, so this is something I have to be very conscious of. And we rotate the gaze out that back shoulder if that serves you. And because we began the practice focusing a little bit on the facial muscles, neck, jaw, just notice if you're carrying some tension here. Use the breath to relax into the pose. Slowly unwind. Remove the blocks. Come to hands and knees. Little cat-cow. And then find your way into down dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Walk that out a bit. Inhale to the knees. And exhale into a child's pose. Draw all the way back. Or come onto the belly if this isn't safe for your knees. Take a few breaths. And check in. Find your way back up to hands and knees. Okay, I'm going to turn around again just so I'm twisting toward you. You can stay where you are. Low lunge, left foot in front. So again, let's go ahead and rock back and forth. Inhale forward. Exhale back. Right hip flexor, left hamstring. Notice if this side feels quite different. I'm just always checking in. Being curious, staying open. Next time you come forward, inhaling, go ahead and come on up. Bring your hands to your left thigh. We'll take the right hand to the outer edge of the left knee, left hand to your sacrum. Shoulders down and back as best you can, core is engaged, spine tall. Let's move in and out 3 times. We'll hold on the 3rd round. Exhale into the twist. Just kind of check things out, see how that feels. Inhale back to center. Exhale into the twist. And inhale. And then we'll exhale into the twist. And hold. Heart open, breath flowing, spine tall. Core engaged. Jaw relaxed, facial muscles relaxed. And then slowly unwind. Come down to hands and knees. Little cat-cow. Just gonna work that out. And then we'll find our way into down dog again. Maybe you just want to come in and find the pose. Maybe it would feel nice to walk it out again. Let's go ahead and walk our feet to our hands. Coming into a standing forward fold, maybe the hands make it to the floor. Maybe you'd like to come up and use a block. Right. Bend the knees if you need to, if your hamstrings are particularly tight. Wherever you're choosing to hold, a willingness to relax through the head, the neck. A couple more breaths here. And
then bringing the arms by your side, reach behind you. Nice long spine, reach forward with the crown of the head, engage the core. Bend the knees, so we take this more into the quadriceps, left side of the low back, and then slowly come up. Arms reach overhead, and together to the heart. Check in, just take a moment with your breath into Tadasana. And then relax the hands by your side. Good. So we're going to do triangle with a twist. Okay. And we're going to step our right foot back. So I would keep the stance fairly narrow. Okay, it's going to be easier to find this twist if we don't take as wide of a stance as we would for a triangle and warrior one, warrior two. Right, so I'm going to narrow the stance up by several inches from what I would normally take. And those right toes, my right foot I step back with, the toes are straight ahead. So they're not open at an angle like we would normally do in triangle. Okay, they're straight ahead. I'm going to take the block to the inner edge of my left foot. Some of you will not reach the block, okay, because we want to try to keep this front leg straight. So we're going to start in a minimal edge and we'll work our way down, okay? So hands to your hips. Legs are straight and strong. Core is engaged. And we're going to start to fold forward at the hip flexors. We keep the spine long. And we're going to bring the back of the right hand just above the knee. Okay? And then I'm rotating open to the left. This is just a way to find this minimally. You're coming into a wonderful twist here. You don't have to go any deeper. Okay? If you do choose to, maybe some of you can make it to the block. Okay? And then again, you're going to lengthen that spine and rotate open to the left. And then we have the option to extend the left arm up and rotate the gaze up to the left fingertips. Okay, this is one of the more challenging twists in yoga, both from a sense of balance and from the stretch you're going to feel through that IT band and hip. Right? So remember, you can stay lower with this if that feels better. Or excuse me, come up a little bit if that feels better. And you don't have to extend the left arm either, right? We can keep that left hand on the hip. Let's just take a couple more breaths here. Triangle with a twist. And then slowly unwind. Whoop, I'm losing my balance. And come on up. And then step that right foot forward. Take a moment, check in. It's going to feel the pose. That's a challenging pose, so really honor that. So I'm twisting towards you. I'm going to turn around again. You guys can stay where you are. We're going to step our left foot back. We'll place the block next to the right foot, just to start with. Hands to your hips. Okay, spine tall, core engaged the whole time. And then again, we're coming into difficult poses. Notice if that's when you start to clench your jaw or the facial muscles become tense. We're folding at the hip flexors. We reach forward. Back of the left hand to the knee. Right, just to my outer thigh. This is a wonderful twist right here. I'm going to open to the right. Spine is tall, heart open. Then some of you may be able to make it to the block. Let's continue to lengthen and open. Work your way into the pose slowly. And then you can choose to extend that right arm. And you can choose to take the gaze up to the ceiling. Okay, so again, just breathe here, find your position that you feel safe. And come into a more difficult pose like this. You can see why we take time to warm up and don't just jump into these poses. 2 more breaths. And then slowly unwind. Use your core. Come back up. And step the left foot forward. Arms by your side. Good. All right. So we're going to do a high lunge with a twist. Okay, so you can also do this with a low lunge. Okay, so again, I'm challenging you a bit here. This is going to require some strength and balance, and you can always place the knee to the floor. All right, we're going to place the block out in front so it's accessible. Step with that right foot all the way back. We may not use the block at all. This time, again, we're coming into a twist. We're going to twist to the left. I've stepped my right foot back. We're going to come into a high lunge. The heel will come up off the floor, and we're going to twist to the left. So right here, kind of check that out. If you bend into your left knee, okay, right heel comes off the floor in a lunge. How does this feel? How's your strength today? Where are you? You can always come to the knee. Okay, and everything we're going to do from here, you can do from your knee. All right? If you want to challenge yourself in a stronger pose this morning, if that suits you, we'll stay in a high lunge, okay? Now, when we were on a low lunge before, we took the hand to the outer part of the knee, and we could do this right here, same thing. Right hand to the outer knee, left hand to your sacrum, spine tall, core engaged, and rotate to the left. If you'd like to take this deeper, you can bring the right elbow to the thigh, palms together at the heart, and find your twist from here. We would shift the gaze up to the ceiling. Strong, steady breathing. Strong, steady pose. 2 more breaths. Slowly unwind and go ahead and press your hands into the floor and step back into down dog. Walk that out. Come to the knees, inhaling. And release back into a child's. Drop into the ease of whatever resting pose that is for you. Let go. If it's not child's pose, find another pose. It's okay. On your next inhale, find your way back to hands and knees. Exhale, down dog. And walk your feet to your hands. Inhale the arms by your side, lengthen the spine, engage the core as you come up. And exhale into your heart. So we're going to find that lunge on the opposite side. And if anybody has any recommendations for yoga tops that actually stay in place while we're moving around, let me know, because I am so tired of constantly adjusting my tops. I can't find any. Okay. Side note. Alrighty, so from here, lunge, we're going to step back with the left foot. Okay, so again, in a lunge, the heel will be off the floor. Check out this side, bend the knee or straight, just kind of see how this feels to you. We're going to come into a twist on this side, so notice if you would like to come down to the floor with that left knee.
Spine is tall. Begin simply with the left hand to the outer edge of your right knee, right hand to your sacrum. Beautiful twist right here, especially if you're in a high lunge. Or left elbow to the thigh, palms together at the heart. Press those palms together. The right elbow's up towards the ceiling. Keep engaging the core. Rotate that gaze up above the right elbow. And breathe. Challenging poses, we're going to put in unnecessary effort, like clenching of the toes and the jaws, and just relax those areas. Two more breaths. Slowly unwind. Press back into down dog. Inhale to the knees. And exhale, child's. Or whatever resting pose it is for you. Let go and breathe. Good. So let's come on up. Roll over onto your backs. We're going to want to have, if you have a blanket, that'd be great. You might end up using a block too. So just have your props nearby. We're going to do a double knee twist, kind of a bit of a restorative twist. So to begin, we'll go ahead and roll onto our backs. And then we're going to, knees bent, feet in the floor. We're going to take our buttocks, our hip up off the floor. Okay, lift up off the floor just a little bit and shift your hips and your buttocks to the right. Just a little bit. Okay. And then we're going to draw both knees up, feet off the floor, arms open out wide. Okay. And we're going to bring our knees to the left. So what you want to notice is if moving that deeply serves you, first of all. Also notice if your right shoulder is able to stay on the floor. So mine's not. I can't quite open that much. It starts to create stress in my low back. So we have a couple of options here. First one is to just simply take a block between the knees. And you've got 3 different levels for the blocks that you can find. And that helps by having that right knee rest on something, but takes you out of the twist a bit. That might be enough to allow that shoulder to stay on the floor. The other option you have, you can put a blanket between the knees too. You can also put the blanket or a block underneath the bottom knee. So that lifts the whole twist, right? And this is what I found to be most comfortable for my body and my back and what I have going on. I can open the heart more easily. And then from here, rotate your head to the right. And very gently breathe into your belly. So just a nice massage for the internal organs. And twists are really nice to assist us in our digestion. So this whole practice has been really helpful for our digestive process. And stay for about 5 or 6 more breaths here, nice and slow.
Rotate the head back up to the ceiling. Go ahead and remove the props. Bring the knees back to center. Bring your hips back to center. Feel the twist. Just take a moment to breathe and just feel the echo of the practice. And then we're going to do the exact same process or pose on the other side. So you may want to switch your props. We're going to take our buttocks up off the floor and shift your hips slightly to the left. You may or may not use the props in the same way as you did the other side. So willingness to adjust it. You can start there and then see how it feels. So pick the feet up off the floor, release the knees to the right, open that left arm out, and then find your props. So that may mean a block between the knees or a blanket, both. Under the bottom knee might be an option. And then rotate your gaze to the left. So it's worth taking the time to find that right position, be fussy. It's really worth it once you settle in, and then you can just simply drop into your breath, gently allowing the belly to soften with each inhale and exhale. Let's take about 5 more breaths here. And then we'll go ahead and release this side, remove the props, recenter the hips, pause, feel the practice. And then go ahead and draw the knees into the chest. Rounding and stretching that low back. A little Apanasana, knees to chest. And then into knee circles. Just checking in, noticing how your low back feels from when we began, where you are now, just observing that. So we start to really check in with the choices we made, and how they served us, or how they may not have served us. That happens sometimes. Making sure you've circled several times in both directions. And then from here, we'll go ahead, extend the left leg out along the floor, right knee into the chest. Let's come back into that single side-to-side knee twist. So we exhale, open wide to the right, extend the left arm. Inhale back to center as you draw that knee across the body into that twist again. And you might feel like there's a lot more range of motion. You can move more deeply into the twist or not. That's okay too. Just checking in. Back and forth. You can rotate the head in the opposite direction of the knee if you'd like to. You can also keep the gaze straight up to the ceiling. That's okay too. And then the next time you move out of the twist, draw that knee into the chest, take a breath. And then slowly switch. Extend the right leg. Draw that left knee in. And then when you're ready, exhale, open wide to the left as you shift the gaze to the right. Inhale back to center and switch. Exhale, cross the body and gaze goes to the left. And then the next time you come out of your twist, pause, bring the knee back to center, take a breath or two. And then we'll go ahead now and find our double knee drop. It's sometimes fun just to kind of notice how the practice may have shifted what we're feeling in the body when we begin and end with some of the same movements. So feet as wide as your mat. Exhale, release the knees to one side. Rotate the head to the opposite. Inhale, let the knees open wide. And exhale, release to the other side. Back and forth, nice and slow. When you've gone equally side to side, we're going to bring the knees back to center, feet hip width apart, and just do a few pelvic tilts, tuck under and then reverse that. Posterior, anterior tip of the pelvis. And then from here, go ahead and find your way into Shavasana. We're going to do a little bit of an extended Yoga Nidra practice this morning for just deep relaxation. And so you can bring the legs out along the floor. You can place something underneath the knees, which is really nice for the low back. You can place a blanket underneath your head. Once you've settled in, arms out a little ways from your side, palms up. Eyes softly closed. Make any last minute adjustments that you need to be completely comfortable.
So as we move through the body, just allow my guidance to deeply relax you and to help you connect with your deeper sense of who you are. Feel the whole body effortless, relaxed. To begin, we're going to count backwards on each exhale. You're going to start at 10, and each time you exhale, go back by 1 count. So you exhale 10, and the next exhale is 9. And the closer you get to 0, the more the body and mind are established in complete ease. Each exhale is like peeling away another layer of an onion. So by the time you reach 0, you are resting in complete stillness and peace. Establish a feeling of gratitude. Grateful for everything that has led to this moment right now. Any actions, decisions, or events that have led you to this present moment. So you're going to begin moving awareness through your body. We don't want to necessarily concentrate. I just want you to listen and feel. See and feel the body part I described, continuing to deepen your relaxation. Move your awareness to your mouth, upper row of teeth, lower row of teeth, space between the upper and lower rows, tongue, both lips, the space between your lips, top of the nose, whole nose, both cheeks, right ear, left ear, right eyelid, left eyelid, right eye, left eye, right elbow, right eyebrow, I apologize, left eyebrow, space between the eyebrows, whole forehead, both temples, top of the head, back of the head, back of the skull. Move to your right hand thumb, index finger, middle finger, ring finger, little finger, palm of the hand, back of the hand, wrist, forearm, elbow, upper arm, shoulder, armpit, right side ribs, waist, hip, right groin, right kneecap, calf muscle, ankle bone, heel, sole of the foot, top of the foot, big toe, second toe, third, fourth, fifth. Left hand thumb, index finger, middle finger, ring finger, little finger, palm of the hand, back of the hand, wrist, forearm, elbow, upper arm, shoulder, underarm, left side ribs, waist, hip, groin, thigh, kneecap, calf muscle, heel, sole of the foot, top of the foot, big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth, fifth. Move your awareness to the back of the body, back of the head, right shoulder blade, left shoulder blade, the whole spine, right heel, left heel. Top of the head, bring awareness to the top of the head, forehead, both temples, right eyebrow, left eyebrow, space between the eyebrows, right eyelid, left eyelid, right eye, left eye, right inner ear, left inner ear, roof of the mouth, tongue, lips, chin, throat, right collarbone, left collarbone, right chest, left chest, middle chest, navel, upper abdomen, lower abdomen, entire right leg, entire left leg, both legs together, entire right arm, left arm, Both arms together. Whole front body. Whole back body. Head. The whole body. Become aware of the whole body. Awareness of the whole body. Become aware of where your body meets the floor. Now become aware of those points and the space between them and your mat. So feel the space between your heels and your mat. Feel the space between your calves and your mat. Thighs. Between your buttocks. Shoulder blades. Elbows. Back of your hands. Back of your head. Feel all these spaces at once. Relax and feel all those spaces under the body. Feel the body as weightless. All the body parts are weightless. The body is so light, you sense you're floating, drifting on a gentle breeze. Imagine a place where you feel safe, peaceful, and easy. This place might be made up or somewhere you've traveled before. It may be your home. It doesn't matter, just as long as it's a place where you feel safe, peaceful, and easy. Allow this place to become real to you. In your mind's eye, looking around, you take it all in with your eyes. Enjoying the colors, the scenery. You might notice what you see over your right shoulder or left. Listen to the sounds of this place. Maybe they're birds singing, or ocean waves crashing, or wind, or music. Notice what your body's lying or sitting on. Is it grass or a comfortable chair, pine needles, sand? Feel the air on your skin. Is it crisp and dry or wet and balmy? Or perhaps you're inside and feel the warmth of a fire on your hands and face. Or you're outside where there's just the subtlest caress of a fragrant, gentle breeze. Smelling the rich fragrance of this place, whether it's soft, full scent of flowers or sharp, salt sea air. Is it grass? Just take in all the of it with your senses, becoming more and more attuned with this very special, safe place, taking it deep into your heart. Feeling thankful and grateful to be there. Allow the beauty of this place to nourish you and be open to receiving guidance. It could be from a question you have or support you need. As we rest here for a few moments, for a few minutes really, to receive whatever you need as you rest in the cave of your heart. Take a moment to see a bright golden flame behind your navel. Feel this golden flame as being grounding and that it recharges your senses and mind. And feel this flame growing in its intensity until its light fills the whole body. Feel the warmth, replenishing, healing, golden light fill the whole body. Know that this is available to you at any time. Going to your favorite place, carry it with you through your day. Carry this golden flame with you through your day. Slowly begin to deepen the breath and allow those first few breaths to expand all the way to fingers and toes, wiggling them. Beginning to a little more movement, maybe stretching overhead. And eventually rolling to one side, pausing there for a few breaths. And then very mindfully find your way to a seated position. Bring your hands to your heart. Anjali Mudra, connecting mind, body, spirit, right and left sides of the body. Drop into your heart. Honor yourself for this time you gave to you today. Recognize and honor that. Thank you for allowing me to take the seat of teacher today. Namaste.